Today's episode is Sourcr. I was invited last week to Sourcr's annual discovery session, typically reserved for the big agencies, and it's not big. There was maybe 20, 30 agencies in the room, and that's all they usually do. They opened it up to a couple of extra people. I was lucky enough to be one of those and to sit in the room, and I felt like it would be great to share with you the 5 key takeaways from that session, because there's some interesting stuff. We have a love-hate relationship with Sourcr. Don't like paying it, hate the invisible pricing. We kind of know we need it as well, right? So I think there's 5 things here that will be really interesting for us to just understand that where they're positioned, what they're thinking, what the roadmap looks like, and you take what you want from that. So the first thing is, and we all know this, but Sourcr is by far the most dominant job board in Australia. In fact, they're the most dominant job board in most of Southeast Asia as well. Not that relevant for most of us here, but they are up in Malaysia, Hong Kong, Singapore, maybe the Philippines, but they basically are the dominant job board for the entire region. And that's where they like to be. But for the Australian market, by far the largest and most dominant job board, twice as big as LinkedIn and Indeed, so, or even more. No surprises to us there. But what I really felt, seeing the speakers get up there, we saw the CEO, we saw their chief innovation officer, we saw their economists get up there, is that they really don't want to fumble this market share. They truly do understand what their value is, and it is bringing recruiters and companies access to great candidates. They do know. So the moment we don't have great candidates, the moment the focus turns from getting great candidates or making it a great experience for candidates who want to come and go to their job board, is the moment that we all go the other way. Like every other bloody job board, they haven't had the audience, they haven't had the candidates, right? So they're acutely aware of this, which for me brought a great sense of cool. They're not going to just squeeze money out of us and then fuck it for themselves. They just know if we focus on the candidate, we focus on making that experience for the candidate as best as we can, they're only going to strengthen their position, okay? And so I was quite happy hearing that, because that is ultimately what you want Sourcr to be able to deliver, right? Good candidates. I just want to, and they said it. They said, ultimately, if you could post an ad and an hour later you've got the candidate you want, wouldn't you be happy? Abso-fucking-lutely. Will they get there? Probably not, but they're damn trying. So that was the first thing. That was the first sort of takeaway I got there. The second one, this is more important for us as recruiters, okay? We all know about Sourcr. We know Sourcr owns Sourcr. We know that they've been pushing, to getting reviews, to getting ratings. And I think half of us do it well, half of us do it not so well. I would strongly suggest you do it well. I would strongly suggest that Sourcr, whether we like it or not, is a part of your strategy moving forward, because in a world of AI, right? So they showed us a whole bunch of data, but in the world of AI, people are writing their CVs with AI more and more. That's no surprise. Companies, agencies are using AI to screen people more and more and more. And there's this problem that's occurring, which is like AI is talking to AI to try to work out if this talent's right for the job or not. And at what point do the humans get involved? And is this getting, where does that trust line lie? So for us as agencies, the most important bit is that our profile is going a huge way for candidates to engage with different agencies. So if you've got a great Sourcr review, they're more inclined to go with you. And they're seeing this in the data. If people are looking broadly at jobs, but then they're going, well, I might want to engage with an agency, and they're going through to the agency page and going, well, who's the best ranked recruiter in my space? And a lot of recruiters are benefiting massively from having strong Sourcr profiles. So that wasn't a surprise, but it was definitely an emphasis. And I think that I really wanted to get this to you guys as well. Number 2, Sourcr profiles. Make sure you are across it. 3, bit of a throwaway comment, but it's a good one. The employment market in Australia has almost normalised to pre-COVID levels. We might be feeling a contraction or challenges or a slowdown technically, yes, that has been what has been occurring. But if you remember those graphs, when COVID hit, jobs dropped through the floor, and then 2021, a year later, they went right up sky high through the ceiling with all the stimulus and all of the catch-up play, and we've just been coming back from those ridiculous highs. We've been coming back to the trend line, and we've just touched the trend line, which was pre-COVID, and we're kind of just normalising now. We're not going through it, whatever, so things are going to start to even out and get a bit more consistent. So that was good to hear, good to see. The fourth one, now this actually didn't come from Seek. This came from The Room, and The Room was full of big agency owners, right? And it was in the context of seeing applications, job applications, data, and all that sort of stuff. Someone in the room said, well, how much does the efficiency and the effectiveness of the agency's own data, leveraging of their own data, and not bypassing the need of a Seek or a LinkedIn or whatever to get candidates, how much does that play into the data we're looking at? And in the throwaway comment, which I probably shouldn't tell you because it is a bit of an advantage, but SMS is the most effective means of communication with a candidate today. Emails, in-mails, back-end Seek messages, all that sort of stuff work to a degree, but get ignored a lot when you compare it to SMS. It's like a 90% open rate on an SMS. It's like if you have someone's mobile and you text them about a job, they're going to read it. They're going to see it. You email someone or in-mail someone, would you have that level of confidence? No, you wouldn't. I bet you if you opened your in-mails, for example, you'd have something between a 10 and 30% read rate or response rate, right? Don't know what the read rate would be. But a text is apparently the most effective way to reach candidates at the moment. Nothing new. That doesn't surprise me. We're doing it, but good for you to know. And then the last one, we all talk about this. I want to put this eloquently, but the invisible dynamic pricing that Seek have implemented, where essentially you put an ad up and you don't exactly know what that ad's going to cost you until you post it, because it's based on a whole bunch of factors that, frustratingly, Seek can't really tell us what that is. So we all are left with this feeling of, well, they're just manipulating prices for their shareholders. And I still do believe that's what they're doing. Whether they say it or not is another thing. None of their agents, none of their support staff, can tell us what the algorithm is for pricing. They just say it's the algorithm based on certain factors like location, But I know that when we look at the data, it's just made up, literally made up. So there was a conversation around that. I think the key here is that they're aware of it. There is a general frustration internally with the people selling the product that this is feedback they get, and it's quite harsh. Like that, there are a lot of angry people out there around the pricing. They do hear it. They are actively pulling together new pricing strategies from what I could see, where it's a bit more visible. So you can kind of, they're kind of creating more products, probably at a higher price point. But I think they're trying to get it to a point, well, if we're going to move away from that dynamic pricing, then we need to have some more options for people to do. So they are aware of it, and they are, continuing to take feedback on, and that's the whole point of this session, to make changes where they need to make them. I guess on the flip side, and the balance is, the general consensus in the room is that Seek as a whole is a product that is working. We are spending more per ad. We know this, but we're all using less ads, but we are getting more placements out of Seek. And so I think that's actually, to be fair to Seek, and I'm not here to promote anyone. I'm not sponsored by Seek. I'm just giving you it raw. I think that we can all be frustrated with the pricing strategy of Seek, but if you put the flip side to it is we're probably making more money from Seek too. So to be fair to them, I would say that's a product working. But anyway, that's the 5 key takeaways from Seek Discovery. It was a great session. If anyone from Seek's watching this, thank you for having me. I really had a good time. I thought it was a really valuable thing for you to do. You should do more of them. Put on a great dinner, and I had a great opportunity to network with a bunch of wonderful like-minded recruiters. So, thank you for that. But that's it, 5 key takeaways. If you've got any questions, guys, email me, message, comment. I'm sure you're going to have your own comments on Seek. I'm sure people would have been there and thought, they'd want to give them their 2 cents on certain frustrations. But hey, you know, the world goes round. We're all here to make a buck. So like, share, subscribe. Helps us grow. As always, have an amazing day. May all your deals and advertising come true.